Hi, how you doing? Okay, this video is about, so I've been on the new diet for a week. What do I think? So I've done more research. When I get up in the morning, I I learn things. I put YouTube on while I'm getting ready and I listen to it. If you looked at my channel, you go, how the hell does Angie have so much time to come up with all these videos and everything? It's because my obsessive side always wants to always learn. I'll stay up late into the night. I'll wake up in the middle of the night, like, oh, I want to research with a new subject in mind and start researching it and can't sleep. I just constantly am obsessed with learning things all the time. So when I get ready in the morning, especially, I have listened to music. Sometimes I do that, but usually I just learn things. Music is more for when I go on walks and stuff. So I've learned more things about the diet and everything. So some of the videos, like after the video where I said let's compile everything on this playlist, the videos after that are some favorites that, like for example, one of the doctors that's teaching the videos reveals his diet, and he rotates between salmon and eggs, and no, he always has eggs at one point, and then he rotates between salmon and steak and nuts or something like that. For he eats twice a day. So, and then what's called the intermittent fasting. I've become aware of, and it makes sense to me, the fasting. To not eat real late. To have an early dinner so that there's a bigger gap in between when you ate the last time and when you eat the first time in the morning. He's saying like an 18-hour gap, but so like a big gap, So I still haven't figured out I still haven't come up with a system to work in more fasting in that type of a way. But that you can drink like tea and coffee and water enhancers and things like that while you're fasting. That it's not a dry fast, it's a wet fast, I think he calls it, where you get to drink things, but just can't have any food. If you've ever fasted for a while, that is a lot easier. You're thankful for that. It's also really cool because the French, that's what, like a lot of French, like their idea of their breakfast, petit déjeuner, is just like a cup of coffee and a croissant or something real simple that seems like you'd be hungry. But in this case, he just has coffee in the morning. So what I'm realizing is that it's more like the keto diet than I was originally thinking. In fact, I'm gonna go get a cookbook for the keto diet, and I'm gonna be thinking more along the lines of keto. So the thing that's gonna hopefully make it so I'm not literally doing the keto diet is my blueberries with my kale shake in the morning, and then my two dates with each snack while at work, and then the prunes with dinner. So like a quarter cup. That's like a small handful of blueberries, 4 dates, and probably about 4 or 5 prunes all day. And just to really try hard to avoid all carbohydrates then. And another big thing is soup. Buy like a carton of that chicken broth and just makes, so you're not always eating salad all the time. You can get your pot and throw in the vegetables you want to eat and saute them in olive oil, and then when they're sauteed, submerge them in chicken broth with a few dashes of Tabasco, a couple pinches of cayenne pepper, and it's so good. I just had some. Sometimes you might put some beans in the soup. If you do that, then take out one of your carbohydrates. Beans have carbohydrates. So if you add beans to your soup, then don't have dates with your nuts, or don't have prunes with your dinner, or whatever, and then the beans have protein too. So the beans count as a protein in that. One thing I noticed with his diet is he's getting a higher quantity of protein So like the way that your body takes into consider the ratio of fat to protein to carbohydrates. So if you're eating a small amount of protein, like I was doing, like I was thinking I was going to do, then the protein's pretty close to the fat, like eating more protein so there's a lot more of it might be a good idea. And then he eats steak, so like maybe be a little less afraid of eating meat more often. In this case, I'm going to go with turkey. Turkey's one of the recommended meats. Red meat is like really discouraged. Maybe I'll have, when I go out to eat with my son, maybe I'll get beef or things like that. I'm gonna have cheat days, and will mostly be when I go out to eat with my son at restaurants, and then the big celebration, since I can't have alcohol, I'll get a Granny Smith apple and dice it up and put lemon juice on it and maybe a little tahini. I love that so much. It's so delicious. But that's something I shouldn't be doing, but it's not as horrible as like alcohol or something. And so that'll be like my, instead of having like cake and cookies and like things that other people get to eat, I'll have a Granny Smith apple, and build it up in my mind. Wow. Like it's eating a piece of cake or a cupcake or something, But the big thing is soup. I'm going to keep chicken broth on hand, and I'm going to have, I'm not going to always have a salad. I'm enjoying my salads, but I'm not always going to have a salad. I'm going to have soup sometimes too, cook the vegetables instead. And I'm totally digging the Brussels sprouts with dinner. And the garlic and the apple cider vinegar is intense. A shot of apple cider vinegar is just like whiskey. It burns in your throat and it burns in your stomach, and it kind of gets me drunk. I don't know why. I think it's some kind of contact buzz or something. It's intense. Apple cider vinegar is an intense thing. So are the radishes, and so is the garlic. Those things all just like, I can see why they work good, because wow, they are intense things to put in your body. So those are the things I've learned. Take in more protein, be a little more strict as far as it being keto diet. Pretty much you're on a keto diet, and to reward yourself with an apple every once in a great while, like once every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks or something. To go ahead and have red meat, or since the protein's the thing, go ahead and have meat a little more often, not every day, but yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not really sure. Like my diet before was to have meat once a day, So my diet, so I'm going to probably predictably end up kind of eating the same type of things, but with none of the grains, none of the carbohydrates, and just cut those out, But soup, more emphasis on soup. Look at it like soup. What do you eat? I eat a kale shake in the morning and soup for one meal and salad for the other. And then I snack with nuts and dates in between. That's it. Breakfast, kale shake, the 2 meals at work, I'm getting like mixed nuts and walnuts and mixing them together. And then 1 or 2 dates each time. That's 2, because there's 2 breaks at work. And then right when you get home, either have the salad or have the soup, and then switch on the next meal, have either salad or soup depending on what you've already had, unless for some reason you're in the mood for the same thing twice or something. And then have prunes with dinner, and just soup and salad. You live on soup and salad and kale shakes and nuts and dates, which is delicious, but it's hard. I wish I could get a cupcake and just eat the cupcake, you know what I mean?